The Matchstick Boy and the Christmas Miracle. Snowflakes danced through the icy air, settling on the rooftops and cobblestone streets of the small town. Laughter and warmth spilled from the brightly lit homes where families gathered around their fireplaces, sharing stories and feasts. But outside, shivering in the bitter cold, was a small boy named Oliver. Dressed in tattered clothes, his feet barely covered by worn-out shoes, Oliver clutched a small bundle of matchsticks. He had spent the entire day wandering the streets, trying to sell them, but the festive cheer of Christmas Eve had kept people too distracted to notice him. His stomach ached with hunger, and his fingers were numb from the cold. He pressed his face against the frosted window of a bakery, watching a happy family inside break bread together. The sight was almost too much to bear. He turned away, knowing that he had no home to return to, no warm embrace waiting for him. All he had were the matchsticks and a flickering hope in his heart. As the night deepened and the streets emptied, Oliver found a small corner to shelter himself from the biting wind. He could no longer feel his hands, and the cold wrapped around him like a cruel enemy. Desperate for warmth, he struck one of his matchsticks against the brick wall. The tiny flame burst to life, casting a golden glow around him. As he stared into the flame, something incredible happened. He saw a vision of himself sitting by a fireplace, wrapped in a thick woolen blanket, sipping a cup of hot cocoa. The warmth from the vision seemed so real that he could almost feel it. But as the flame flickered and died, the vision disappeared, leaving him in the cold once more. Oliver hesitated, then struck another match. This time, the flame revealed a grand feast before him: roasted turkey, warm bread, steaming soup, and sweet pastries. His mouth watered, and his stomach growled in longing. He reached out, but just as before, the vision faded with the dying flame. Tears welled in his eyes. Was this magic or simply the desperate dreams of a hungry child? Either way, he longed to hold on to the warmth and comfort, even if just for a moment longer. Shivering uncontrollably, Oliver lit another match. The flame flickered gently, revealing the most beautiful vision of all: his mother. She stood before him, her arms open wide, her face full of love and warmth. "Oliver, my sweet boy," she whispered. "Come home." Tears streamed down his cheeks. "Mother," he choked out. He had lost her years ago, and yet here she was, reaching for him. As the flame weakened, Oliver desperately lit the remaining matchsticks all at once, wanting to keep the vision alive. The light grew brighter, engulfing him in warmth and love. His mother's arms wrapped around him, and for the first time in years, he felt safe. The next morning, as the first rays of sunlight kissed the town, a kind-hearted baker opened his shop and noticed a small figure curled up against the wall. Rushing to him, he gasped. It was Oliver. But instead of a look of pain, a peaceful smile rested on the boy's lips. He looked as though he were sleeping, wrapped in the embrace of a dream too beautiful to wake from. The townspeople gathered, their hearts heavy with sorrow. But as they looked upon the boy, something magical happened. The sky above shimmered with golden light, and the church bells rang with a melody so pure that it brought tears to their eyes. And then they saw it: Oliver's matchsticks, scattered in the snow, glowing faintly as if carrying the last warmth of a child's final wish. From that day on, the town never forgot the Matchstick Boy. Every Christmas Eve, they lit candles in his honor, a reminder that no one should be left alone in the cold. The baker, who had found Oliver, turned his shop into a place where no child would ever go hungry again. And some say that on the coldest nights, when the wind whispers through the streets, you can still hear the soft laughter of a little boy, carried on the wings of a Christmas miracle. A message to everyone. The true spirit of Christmas is not in grand feasts or glittering gifts, but in kindness, love, and the warmth we share with those who have nothing. No act of compassion is too small, for even the tiniest flame can bring light to the darkest night.